For the past 10 years, Disney has been building this humongous Marvel utopia where we have these characters that we've grown to know and love. We have freaking Iron Man, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy. We have all these amazing stories. And then, swoop, here comes another one. Captain Marvel coming out of nowhere. Who knows where that's... I mean, she doesn't even know where she's coming from either.
That's the point.
That's the point of this movie, guys.
Exactly.
It's a 2-hour-long feature trying to figure out who this new hero is in this Marvel universe that we've grown to know and love over the past 10 years.
And symbolically named after the series itself, Captain Marvel stands to be an iconic hero, the leader of the new Avengers? Is this possible?
Duh, she has photon beams and also is blonde-haired and a super badass bitch.
Could she be the most powerful Avenger and superhero of them all? Well, we are here to find out and let you guys know, because we just saw the 21st Marvel movie, Captain Marvel, and we are here to talk about it. So, pull up your apple boxes and your beers, because we are about to get into it right now. Can someone bring me an apple box?
Apple box is now online.
What's up, guys? My name's Brandon.
And I'm Brian.
Just a couple of dudes with brews talking about movie news. This is the Apple Box Podcast.
What's up, guys? This is episode 305. I'm Brian.
And I'm Brandon, and welcome to this episode of Captain Marvel.
Marvel?
The original comic, she's actually a man. Fun fact.
Interesting.
And then it was rebooted as a comic to be a female.
Recently, I believe. Like within the last... Oh, actually, I shouldn't say. I
don't
feel
know.
like it was in the 90s at some point.
I don't know.
It's a more recent story.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you something real quick here.
Go ahead.
Okay? For the longest time, actually, since the very first teaser of Captain Marvel, I was like, fuck this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, Brie Larson looks like she's a stone cold bitch the whole fucking time. But all the trailers, she doesn't smile. There's no fucking joke. She just looks like she's watching paint dry.
It's what everybody said it when the first trailer dropped.
And the
they
second
were worried.
trailer
They
as
were
well.
worried.
Every trailer, she looked the same. But watching this movie flipped my ideas, my thinking around, and I'm glad it did, because like every Marvel movie should be, this movie was to the point and it had jokes in it, like it should have. And she wasn't a stone cold bitch the whole time. She was just trying to figure out who she was.
So, I think what we learned, what your analysis is that everybody was scared or worried that this film was not going to live up to normal Marvel expectations. And what happened was this film ended up shattering all expectations, and not just story-wise and character-wise and acting-wise, but domestically and worldwide at the box office, 6th best Marvel opening of all time, 153 million domestically, 455 million worldwide in 3 days. A terrific opening for a film that people thought was going to fail. So take it, haters, up yours.
Hey, fuck you. You're the same way.
I had my doubts. I walked into this movie with very little expectations, and I enjoyed it. I think it was great after I learned that it was released on International Women's Day. I think that was a smart choice. It was great to showcase a powerful female character. I don't know. I think it had a lot of weight and a lot of power to it. So we can tell you, I guess Brandon gave your initial thoughts.
I gave you my thoughts.
Yeah, and I gave you, I guess I gave you some of mine.
We had the same thoughts.
That they were, I was surprised. I wasn't surprised. You know what? I just was talking to somebody today. He's probably not going to listen to this podcast. If he is, Mr. G, that's your initial of your last name. You know who you are. You're great. I won't say your quote completely, but it's beautiful. It's essentially, when you order a Marvel movie, it's like ordering a Big Mac. You know exactly what you're going to get every time. Nothing really changes. but it's the same thing you've come to love and expect every single time, and it doesn't disappoint you. I love that analogy, and I think that's what Marvel is as a whole. And trolls online tried to defeat. I mean, they were bombarding Rotten Tomatoes, destroying the fabric of this movie. People had to come in and fix the site because people were literally bogging the site with fake reviews to destroy Captain Marvel before it could even be released. Because half of the fans wanted this movie to fail, just because of the character, because Brie Larson, she's very active in women's rights, and a lot of people didn't like that. But you know what? 6th best opening of all time says a lot.
In your face.
So Marvel saw his power, and I'll tell you what, this is a good. I mean, looking at these numbers for a new character like this right before Endgame, man, Marvel, Disney, they're gonna be drowning in it.
The thing that I hate about it is the fact that we've grown to know all these people, and then this other character comes out of nowhere and says, "Hey guys, I'm gonna defeat Thanos."
Well, so let's just. I mean, I agree with you.
It's not about that. It's the fact. I don't know. They still, of course, they gotta keep introducing characters, especially if they plan to do shit.
Of course,
The Secret Wars and all this other shit.
of course. But the capper that will end all this is Endgame next month, April 26th. Get your tickets whenever it's dropped.
It'll end it.
It'll end it. It'll end it all.
It won't end it.
I mean, it won't end it, but it will put a soft end to the 22 series. It's impressive. Over 10 years.
It's kind of crazy.
11 years, 12 years, 11 years.
To go off and do shit like that.
It is. For those of you that have no idea what in the hell we are talking about, you might be like, well, what the hell even is Captain Marvel? Well, let's just explain to you what this film is. Like we said, it is the 21st film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a new superhero introduced who's going to play a big role, supposedly, in Avengers Endgame next month.
That's what y'all saying, but it's totally Ant-Man.
Well, whatever it is.
He's the key.
They're all the key. They have to work together as a team.
That's what we said for the first one. Now look what happened. They're all turned to ashes. They're going to come back.
Oh, they're going to come back. Much to my disappointment. Marvel, I swear to God, if they bring Loki, all these characters that they killed, if they bring all these people back that they killed, like Gamora and Loki, I don't care if they're a fan favorite. Marvel is too scared to kill any character. Civil War, I wanted somebody. You got to have the stakes. Somebody's got to die. Guess what happened? Nobody died. No.
Fake news.
I swear to God, if somebody in Endgame, one of this big if all 5 from the first Avengers go off and walk holding hands into a meadow, all alive, I'm gonna riot. People are gonna riot. Somebody, in order for the weight of this 22 story arc to effectively be pulled off, they cannot just walk off into the sunset. I'm sorry. Somebody has to die.
I agree with you.
Say it. The characters are great.
I agree with you completely.
But they have to.
They have to, but will they? We'll find out come May.
April 26th.
No, pretty much May.
Pretty much.
The episode will come out May. Or wait, no, it'll come out April 29th. 30. Wait, I don't even remember. Anyways,
So
let's get into it.
Captain Marvel.
We talk about story arc here. We talk about all the things that are happening to the character to change them. We don't really go by scene anymore. So get ready for this because we're coming in hot with the facts.
Well, up first, plot synopsis.
The plot synopsis is a goddamn woman who's an Air Force pilot, doesn't know who she is. She then tries to figure out who she is. I mean, this is what it is. Carol Danvers becomes one of the universe's most powerful heroes when Earth is caught in the middle of a galactic war between 2 alien races.
See, that's not how I would sum it up.
No, but that's how it is on IMDb.
So she's a woman who doesn't know who she is. She's from this planet,
The
foreign
Kree.
planet, Hala. And
They're called the Kree.
the Kree alien race, and I mean they look human. Everything about them seems human, but it's just a technologically advanced society on a distant planet. And then through the course of the movie, she starts gaining these memories. Who really is she? Did she used to have a life on Earth? And that kind of becomes the whole story, is figuring out who she is in this wide universe. Where does she fit in? Is she going to be a superhero and, stop this war between two alien races, the Kree and the Skrull? So there we are. And it features a terrific cast in Brie Larson, Samuel Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, who's always been one of my favorite actors, and I wish people would give him more scenery-chewing, great roles. I freaking love that man.
I mean, sometimes.
He doesn't have a lot of good roles.
A lot of his movies, he's the same character.
He's the bad guy.
He's the same guy. Then you have great casting like Bloodline.
Yeah, he's terrific in that.
That's like his GOAT. That's like his best.
He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
But now he's just casted in freaking bad. He's just a bad guy.
He's a bad guy with the suit.
If they do like a relaunch of goddamn Game of Thrones, he could do like a fucking Littlefinger. Okay, he could do something like that. Okay, he's fucking.
I mean, he plays that character. He plays the sheriff of Nottingham in the new Robin Hood movie.
All right. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Fucking hell.
So, all right. So here we go.
We start off with this movie with a slow motion explosion with dirt flying over. We can't really tell what it is. It's an explosion. I guess a bad. I mean, all nightmares are bad. A nightmare for our character Veers. She wakes up. She can't sleep. She goes over to her bestie's friend's house, named Yun Rog. That's Jude Law's character.
Yon Rog.
Huh?
Yon Rog.
That's what I said.
No, but you said Young Rog.
I said Yon Rog.
Okay, there you go.
Young Rog. It's like a rapper.
Young Rog.
Young
so you
Rog.
want it.
Young
so
Rog on
it.
the track.
How do you mind? Okay.
And so they start fighting. It's just pretty much just introducing you to this world. She's with
part of Star Force.
She's part of the Star Force. Yeah.
So she's a fighter. She's training. We can see from this hook that she's got powers that she's trying to control, or the Yon Rog is trying. Who's kind of her mentor. He's trying to get her to control these powers, and we can see she is powerful. But we also see that something is keeping her powers in check.
She has to know how to fight with her fists before she can fight with her powers.
And I think there is something that's keeping that. And I think in this opening, we do get to see that there's this little chip like on the back of her neck that's kind of keeping her powers in check. Well, we learned that's what it's doing. It's keeping her powers in check. But this nightmare that you mentioned is significant because it's an explosion of her waking up and seeing this woman played by Annette Bening, who she doesn't know who she is. But this scene becomes the pivoting arc moment for her as a character to figure out what this scene is in her life. What does it mean? Who is she? And by Veers, she goes by 3 names in this movie. In this alien world, she's Veers. She comes to find out her name is actually Carol. And then by the end of the movie, she becomes Captain Marvel, which those 2 words are actually never said in this movie.
It's Marvel. That's what they said. It's said. It's
not
no,
for
that's
her, though. Exactly. No, but that's just it. There's Captain Marvel doesn't exist in
not
this,
yet.
Like the name doesn't exist yet, which is kind of funny because you call the movie Captain Marvel and nobody even refers to her as Captain Marvel during the entire film.
It's kind of weird that it's slashed on there as a credit on IMDb when she's not even called Captain Marvel ever.
Well, that's the title of the movie.
Well, fuck off.
So that's the hook. Then we wind our way down to the inciting incident. Veers is preparing for her big meeting with the Supreme Intelligence. And the Supreme Intelligence is an artificial intelligence being that takes the form of who? Of
her friend in the explosion.
But it takes the form for everyone differently.
I guess the person you look up to or like your idol.
Yeah, okay. And so she's meeting with this...
the one you most respect. I don't know.
Right. And she's meeting with this person, and we come to see that it is this same woman from her nightmare. So the Supreme Intelligence takes the form of Annette Bening's character. So we're like, okay, well, who is this? And she doesn't even know who this is. But the Supreme Intelligence in this scene, the point of the scene is to give Veers a mission, and it's going to, test her loyalty to the alien race, the Kree, and they're going to go in and they're going to recover the operative. But she's telling her kind of to keep herself in check, because I think the Supreme Intelligence is starting to sense a little
resentment,
instability, maybe resentment. But she's a little unstable. She's starting to get wise.
It's almost like these Kree are like Spock's race in Star Trek, like no emotions, just do things. That's essentially what the Kree are. They're all, they're AI.
And what's weird is it's taken this long for her to kind of like get some like sense. Like it's been like 6 years, and she's like starting to like she doesn't remember anything after like the last 6 years. Like, she doesn't know what her life was, what she was doing.
Just these flashbacks that she has.
Right. And now she's starting to kind of, like, realize, okay, well, I don't really know who I am and what I am, but it's starting to hit me, and I'm going to figure it out. But she's given this mission, and if it weren't for this mission, it wouldn't kick her off into the thread of the story.
Exactly. So, all these characters that go to this world, this mission is to go rescue a fellow Kree member. And this is also kind of where we find out that these things called Skrulls exist, and essentially it's an alien race. They actually don't have a home planet. They just take the form of other races and live there, because they can morph into whatever the fuck they look at. So essentially, this mission is to go rescue an operative in this planet, but it's a bust. There's Skrull there, so it's eventually, why
the Skrulls.
I keep saying,
I mean, maybe you guys haven't seen it yet. Don't judge them. Maybe they don't want to see it.
So Veers gets captured by the Skrull. She,
right.
And bada bing, bada boom, she's in a ship getting mind controlled.
And that's just it. And through the course of this mind manipulation, she thinks her mind is playing tricks on her. Like, she's seeing all these visions of, like, this girl as, like, a little kid playing baseball. And then, like, her, when she's younger, not jumping rope, training in the military.
Shit like that.
Flying with this friend of hers, and Maria. And, she's like, what are these? Like, and she's asking the Skrull, what are you doing to my mind? And they're probing her mind for information relating to this lady, Dr. Lawson, that they're looking for, who is that Supreme Intelligence form that she took.
The Supreme Intelligence took the form of her, yeah.
Thank you, because I was getting lost in what I was saying.
But she wasn't her.
This is confusing.
Just the form of her.
But I feel like these guys are.
It's like, okay, here's an analogy for you. One of my famous analogies, right? You have God, right? And then you have the Bible, right? The God. Okay. What? God becomes a bush to talk to Moses. But that doesn't mean that the bush is God.
Okay.
It's the same thing with the AI is this Lawson character. But Lawson is not the AI.
Correct.
Bam! There's another Brandon analogy.
What do you mean another one?
Another one. Well, the last one was Hitler, so I think we improved this time.
Oh, God. Yeah, let's not get into that one. Shit.
Shit, brother.
Shit. So, it's interesting.
Yeah. So, in this sequence, she's
being probed, and she doesn't understand it. And I think this kind of primes us for...
It's kind of like Sunshine of Eternal Spotless Mind or whatever.
Kinda. It's all these things that she doesn't remember, and she's, like, trying to figure it out. And that really probes us for, like, the central question of the movie, which is, like, will she discover who she is and be able to unlock her full potential and, like, become a hero? Right. She doesn't know who she is and what her potential is. And this really starts that.
Yeah, because she slowly finds out that she's getting probed, like her mind is getting probed. So she breaks out of the spell or whatever, the machine. And as soon as she breaks out, she asks I guess Talos. Talos is his name. Mm-hmm. He's there. She asks him, like, what did you put in my mind? And he's like, we're just accessing your memories. And she's like, those aren't my memories. I've never had them before. So it's like, that's literally her whole struggle is trying to find out who she is, because as soon as she comes out of that, she freaking states it. It's literally a line. You know, what is that shit?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of get a sense as far as the first answer. Well, she fights all the Skrull on the ship and then takes an ejection pod and goes down to Earth. Apparently, this alien ship was just chilling outside of Earth's orbit in the 90s without Earth knowing about it. How does that work? It wasn't invisible. It was literally exploding. We're just like, oh, I guess we didn't really have technology in the 90s to go fucking. I mean, maybe you never know. Secret agencies.
There's a lot of little things that I'm trying not to think too hard about in this movie. And don't.
So Veers comes down and hits a fucking blockbusters.
And the classic shot from the trailer, which is great. You know what? Here's the thing about this. This scene where she first crashes to Earth, it's great. It gets that 90s vibe. This movie obviously takes place in like 1996, and it's kind of showing that with its little visual, oh, look how cute we are, we're the 90s. Cool. It didn't feel like that throughout the entire movie.
What?
Just in this scene.
What do you mean?
And it could have been easily fixed through more imagery, more sense of that music from that timeline. And then this is a Marvel movie, and they're not playing it up. You know, this felt like they played it up. Her being a stranger in a foreign land, and it's not really a foreign land to her. It's her homeland. She's crashing onto Earth, and she is a human. But because she doesn't know she's a human, she's a stranger in a foreign land. And for this initial scene, it feels like a fish out of water, like Wonder Woman. Like the scene, Wonder Woman coming into Earth and kind of like not realizing what's going on. And we get snippets of that. Maybe not enough throughout the course of the film, but actually I feel like it's almost just right. And the reason for that being is because she actually is human, and this is her planet. She shouldn't be questioning things too much. I think it's almost just right.
Just right.
Almost just right. Maybe just a little.
What else did you want? It's not like she can have a freaking iPod that plays music like freaking Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I don't want her to have that. I want her to be questioning things. She thinks she's an alien.
Yes, she does.
And we only really get a sense of her, like, I'm confused within the first couple minutes, which is understandable. I'm just saying, it could have been a little bit more. But overall, obviously because she is a human and this is her home world, there shouldn't have been too much more.
Well, as soon as she loses that first scroll, she somehow magically makes it into, like, a diner. Right? She, like, made it into a diner where she used to party. And, like, she, like, remembers it. Like, she literally landed from the spaceship into the exact same location of where she was before when she was human, when she lived. How stupid is that? It's like they didn't, like, take a plane or, like, any... Like, she literally landed where she was. The probability... It's not possible.
Well, no, it wasn't exactly.
It was within a few hours, maybe.
Right.
A train ride.
Right, because she had to go to the...
That's so stupid. But I guess. Whatever. You don't have time to do all these things.
Yeah.
So she meets, S.H.I.E.L.D. comes. She meets Nick Fury.
And of course S.H.I.E.L.D. comes because a giant spaceship just landed on Earth.
Yeah.
This is in Los Angeles. And so S.H.I.E.L.D. comes. Nick Fury pre-eye patch.
And he's also CG. He's a young character.
And it seems pretty flawless, actually.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
Honestly.
It's a pretty good job.
The first real Disney CG that didn't bother me.
I agree.
Or de-aging CG.
Right. I mean, they just smoothed out his wrinkles or something. I don't know what they did.
I don't know either. They did it to Coulson.
It didn't
too.
even look like him, though. It did, but it didn't. But it, like, you couldn't tell. So, like, if you go to Pulp Fiction, like, his body structure.
Pulp Fiction.
His body structure is a lot different in Pulp Fiction than it is now. It's like they used his body from now and just put his young face on it.
You think so?
That's what it looked like.
I mean, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
They didn't do his whole
weird.
body.
Of course not.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's a young face on an old body. It looks weird. But it doesn't look weird at the same time. It's acceptable.
It is acceptable, but you do it too much and it starts to Like, I found it completely noticeable in Star Wars in Rogue One.
Well, yeah, it's a full, completely CG'd character.
Oh, you're right.
It's different.
It is different. You're right. Okay, fair. So she meets Nick Fury. He questions, and you know what? We didn't even really mention, but as she's initially trying to escape from the Skrull ship to get to Earth, we kind of see a little bit of her humor. Humor coming out in that we didn't see in the trailers. Captain Marvel actually has quite a sense of humor about her, and I think that's great because
It's like that edgy, that edgy 21st century kid.
Yeah, a little
Vibe.
teen spirit. Like she has an edginess to her and some quick wittedness about her, and the trailers did not play that up. Like, I don't get it. Everybody on trailer 1 was like, "Well, she has no emotion," and so trailer 2, they didn't fix it. And it was so fixable because the movie is full of her showing her wittedness, and her like snappy like zingers. I feel like it was consistently spread throughout the film, and she's not a very stoic character. Not all of the Marvel characters do that, and she, for one, I feel like she uses her little jokes and little one-liners to kind of zest it up a bit. And why the trailers didn't do that?
All of them are like that. What do you mean?
Yeah, you see Black Panther slinging some jokes.
I'm not Black Panther. He's all about Wakanda
See
forever.
Captain America slinging some jokes.
Not Captain America, but freaking all the other ones. Dude,
Really?
Spider-Man,
Doctor Strange.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Doctor Strange has zingers too. What do you mean? Doctor Strange had zingers all the time. You'll have Wi-Fi. We're not savages, etc.
Yeah, but not in his own movie.
What? This is his own movie.
Doctor Strange didn't have zingers in his own movie.
Are you gay?
What?
Yes, he did.
Like what?
I just said one.
That was from Doctor Strange?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember Doctor Strange.
All about being in denial about all these things. Okay? Yeah. Whatever.
Whatever. We get
Just
it.
agree with me.
We get it. But my point being, the trailers did not do a good job.
No.
They had the footage. Captain Marvel, we do get a sense of her humor. She has a lot of humor about her. And honestly, that worked for me because it showed, I don't know. It made the character more likable,
Well, yes, of course.
which was great.
If somebody's angry all the time, you're not going to like them.
Well, yeah.
So that's why nobody likes me. Just kidding. The next big hurdle. Fury uses his high security clearance to request information on Veers. I don't know where the hell they go.
She's also with him. At this point, she's with him.
Somehow they wind up together. They're in a bar. Somehow he's at the... How does this happen?
She
I
gets
remember
information.
a bar scene. I remember a literal bar scene.
Yeah.
And Nick Fury just happens to walk in there after killing that Skrull in the car.
Because he knew where she was going to be.
Did he? How?
Because he knows where she actually is.
Does he?
I think so.
How?
I don't remember.
Exactly. Fuck it. They run out of the same place, and then somehow they get to this base, and Nick Fury's like, I have high security clearance. I'm going to take you. And so they go to this place to find out who Captain Marvel is, or Veers is. And they break in. And she discovers she was an Air Force pilot before on Earth. 6 years ago.
She finds a photo of herself in a photo. And, at this point, Fury, it's so weird. He's, like, going along with her on this whole thing, but at the same time, he has, like, a hidden agenda where he actually wants to capture her. Because she's an alien from another planet. She just crashed in a spaceship. You can't trust her. But at the same time, he's, like, riding along with her in a car.
Well, yeah, because he discovers that Skrulls are pretty bad. They turn into us. Lizard
But
people
he's
that
taking.
turn into.
I mean, oh yeah, okay, that's fair because he saw it in action. He sees the Skrulls. They attacked part of Los Angeles. Captain America or
Captain Marvel.
Veers freaking attacked them, and Sam Jackson saw this up close and personal.
For sure.
Also, I gotta say, stupid. He's attacked by a Skrull on his eye.
What?
Captain There's too many names.
Fury.
Fury, Sam Jackson's character, is attacked by a Skrull on his eyeball.
When? That's later on.
No.
Yeah.
He's hit in the car crash in the first scene within his first attack with the Skrull. He gets a cut above his eye where the eye patch goes.
Okay.
Stupid.
Why?
Because he also gets scratched in that same eye later.
Yeah, and that's what gives him the
Stupid.
patch.
Stupid. You should have done one or the other, not both.
Okay. You just can't walk away from an accident scratch free.
No, because that gave the impression that that is what was going to cause his bad eye. And then it's not.
I didn't even catch it.
It was stupid.
I caught what happened in the last. I didn't catch what happened in the first time.
It was dumb. I'm just pointing it out.
What can you say? So, Marvel, so Veers discovers that she used to have this friend named Maria, and they go find her address and they talk to her, and it's a good performance for sure. Maria, man.
She's got a kid. And it's good. It's touching because when she goes and she finds this Maria was her best friend, back in the day before, and she thought, Carol died in that crash that was kind of covered up by the government. And not. So seeing somebody after 6 years that you thought to be dead, and then to have her not remember you, it's pretty.
It's a good performance. It's a good moment from Lashana Lynch.
Hmm.
Good on ya. Good acting. It got me.
Oh, that's good.
My heart was taken.
Oh my.
Oh my.
But it was good.
And then somehow the Skrulls find out that they're there. They're at Maria's house.
Right. So the Skrulls show up, led by Talos, Ben Mendelsohn's character. And let me just tell you something. When he shows up and he's like all casually, he's like cracking jokes. I'm like, this guy. I'm like, no way. This guy's our villain. He's cracking jokes. He's like looking like a fool. And then the tables are flipped. Because here we are in our Apex beat. He arrives at Maria's home to explain who Veers really is. And her name is Carol. And we find that out from Maria. But we find out through his explanation that the Skrulls are refugees looking for a home. That they're not actually the bad guys. Now, are they to be trusted? Well, when we get a little flashback zinger, he plays a little tape from the crash. And we go back. And Vera... Why do I keep calling her Vera? Veers. Freaking Veers. Stupid. She's taken back to the crash. I can't even talk right now. She's taken back to the crash from that scene from the beginning of the movie. But we see it now in the full scope. Yeah, and we realize...
The plane that they're driving is getting attacked.
Exactly. From aliens.
Crash landed. And then Lawson is about to die. She's shoot the energy source.
It's powering the jet.
Yeah. And then freaking Veers shoots it. Well, actually, before she shoots it, we discover that the people that were shooting them down was none other than Yun Rog.
Her mentor. Jude Law's character.
Yeah.
He's actually the bad guy.
He's the bad.
It's
a flip-flop.
So many twists in this one beat. Like, twist after twist after twist.
Yeah, the Kree are the bad guys now.
Kree the bad guys. Skrulls are the... I mean, it's a great twist. Don't see it coming because the Skrulls look like freaking goblins. They look like bad guys.
I will say in the comics, both of them are bad. I will say that.
Okay. You look it up.
None of them are good. Both of them are equally bad.
Interesting.
But in this movie, when they do the twist, it's like the Skrull are like these sweet little innocent goblin creatures that just want a home.
Mm-hmm. Which is a big twist because Ben Mendelsohn is always a bad guy. And then he's like, actually, he's a good guy. He's like, wow, look at that.
Wow. Except is he though? Because he just has like a whole bunch of makeup on, so it's not even him.
He's using his like Australian accent. This was awful. He is not Australian, by the way. He's British. But yeah, a big memory thing, and it's through Veers listening to her old mentor, Annette Bening's character Lawson. She detonates the tank. And it explodes and courses through her body, and that's what gives her the powers. Unlimited powers because of this alien technology explosion that she caused.
Yeah, and whereas in the beginning, it's almost like we thought that the super intelligence gave it to her, and she has to learn how to use it, essentially, is how it's made out to be. But it's fake news. Mm-hmm. It's fake news, Veers, and now she knows.
Mm-hmm. and now she's got to control, or they're trying to control it, and that right there, her gaining those powers is what caused her to lose her memory, and then Starforce Jan Rog came and swept her up, took her back to Hala, and started to train her to probably to use her almost as a weapon for them.
Well, yeah.
Why it's taking 6 years, who knows?
Why doesn't it take longer? They said that Lawson was trying to develop a speed traveling technology. But literally, these people just go through little fucking octagons in the sky and arrive. Like, what do you mean?
So they didn't want
the technology already exists.
Exactly. They didn't want, Lawson was building this new technology, and she didn't want it to fall into the Kree hands, and that's the whole purpose, is to keep it out of the real bad guys' hands. And we don't really know what this object is, this power is, until
later on.
Later, in the next beat.
The beat, that also a good thing that Talos tells Veers that she needs to do is remember the coordinates in the plane, which we discover is not only the location of this power source, which is the Tesseract, it's also the location of Talos's family, which is what he wants.
Another big reveal.
Yeah,
he doesn't actually want the source of the power, which is the Tesseract from the first Avengers movie. It's to be reunited with his family. And here's where I find fault. Why is this family, this group of Skrulls chilling up in a spaceship, why couldn't they leave? Why are they there?
They said.
Why?
They'll be hunted down by the Kree.
Stupid.
They were hidden there.
So what you're telling me...
That's how all Skrulls are. They're all scattered throughout the universe.
What you're telling me is that not one of them could have taken up the oath to go and find themselves shelter. They had to wait for Talos to come to do it for them.
They're dedicated motherfucking scaly bitches.
Stupid.
What do you want me to say? They're dedicated.
They're not taking initiative. They're just waiting around for years.
When you're lost in the woods, what do they tell you to do, Brian? Fucking stop moving and wait.
Okay, I can go behind that.
When you're lost in space, because it's so fucking huge, what do? You sit there and wait.
I can get behind that.
That's what Iron Man's doing in fucking Endgame. He's sitting and waiting and dying.
Is he waiting?
Meanwhile, Nebula's chilling off being a cyborg, watching him die. Anyways, that's another subject for another time.
Much soon.
So we have this low point. Freaking somehow, he knows where they are. Jan Rog knows where they are. He goes onto the ship and he captures Veers. He does. He captures him.
He puts her
into the Supreme Intelligence.
To face Supreme Intelligence again.
I don't know why he does it.
I don't know,
to fix her?
Like a punishment thing, yeah. To bring her back to one, so to speak. But it's through this that Veers realizes, who she really is. She now knows she's Earthbound. She comes from Earth, but that she's meant for more, meant for greatness. And she's not going to take it. She's not going to take, at this low point, getting sucked back into this horrible life with Starforce and with the Kree, who are a horrible alien race. And now they're imprisoning the Skrulls. They're tearing apart these people who were just reunited again. And she's not going to let that happen. So she realizes she holds the power and that she's having been contained all these years by this device on the back of her neck. So she destroys that and launches her full powers, leaves the simulation, breaks away from the Supreme, comes back into the real world, takes out all the bad Kree, and escapes to...
Well, the Kree also sent Ronin.
Oh, that's what she does next. I mean, well, that's just it. Ronin is the leader of the Kree.
He's the leader?
He's the villain.
I don't say he's the leader. He's just like a war hero he's like a fucking...
Okay, he's not the leader of the Kree.
He's a commission agent that they would just hire to just come do stuff for them.
Fair. We don't know who the leader is. But if there was
Supreme Intelligence,
if there was a head bad, Supreme Intelligence, I suppose, would be the main bad guy, but not really. If there was a main bad guy, it would be Ronin.
I guess he's like the Darth Maul character of Han Solo.
Darth Maul's the leader.
Exactly, but he has one scene.
Right, exactly. Because we know Ronin as the main villain in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Honestly, you're right. I mean, he didn't. He was stupid. He wasn't barely in this.
He just came in here, launched missiles. Veers is like, surprise, bitch! I got photon blasters now. Destroys them all. Destroys the ships.
It's a great scene. We see Captain Marvel. Sorry, it was probably the most hype scene. We see Captain Marvel really launch her full potential of all her powers, not that she's not being held back by anything. And like that scene from Star Wars The Last Jedi, she completely destroys one of the warships and like just
Goes
like
light speed through it.
completely destroys
This
it.
time with sound.
Yeah. Yeah. Scares Ronan and his men away. Until next time.
I'm coming back for the girl. Okay there, bud. Little blue man group, dude.
Good luck. Yeah. Little bitch. So that doesn't. So it doesn't even matter. She's all powerful, all consuming. Goes back down to Earth to face
Yunrog.
Yanrog. A
And
great moment.
a great moment. Essentially, he says, fight me with your fists like you're supposed to.
Like how they used to train.
And then she's like, I have nothing to prove to you. And she sends him to go back to the Hala and tell everyone that she's coming to expose the truth, whatever that means.
And what a powerful moment.
Yeah, it's a good line from Brie Larson. I don't need to prove anything to you. That's essentially the line that needs to happen. I mean, that's just quotable. You could, that's the whole female movement. I don't need to prove any. You're goddamn right. I don't need to prove nothing to me or to anyone. You're a goddamn person. You can do whatever you want to do.
It's good. It is good. It was
Who are you to control her?
It was a great moment. Yeah.
Nobody, dude. Nobody.
Great moment for subtext. Great moment as a character. Good overall. And then so since the enemies now see the full, and then you know what? Now that we see Captain Marvel and her full potential and her full powers, there was no doubt in my mind that this woman could take on Thanos alone and defeat him. Easy. Now, should she?
She'll probably have more powers.
Probably not. Should she defeat him? Probably not. Is she going to be a huge asset in taking down Thanos? Absolutely. But that's not the end of this movie. Much goes on while, Veers or Carol or Captain Marvel, however you want to refer to her, while she's fighting, we see Nick Fury's character, he's got this cat. We haven't even talked about Goose, the cat, who swallows the Tesseract. He's an alien cat. And they're trying to escape, and they're fighting their own
battle.
And, what kind of worked, too, in this movie for me was the relationship between Fury and Captain Marvel. Kind of like a buddy cop thing. I think they could have played it up even more. But it was very, witty banter back and forth. Fury is interesting in this movie because I felt like he was more comic relief than he was actual supporting hero role.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Captain Marvel's supposed to be the hero, and he did enough, I suppose.
Yeah. Can't complain. It's Samuel motherfucking Jackson.
Exactly. So then once
everybody's safe,
she proposes a self mission for herself.
She has to finish Lawson's mission, which is find these scrolls of home.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, "Bye, Fury. I'm gonna go find these scrolls of home and then go defeat fucking Hala." And then Nick Fury's like, "Okay." And then she changed his pager, which is the pager that we discover is at the end of Endgame, at the end of Infinity War, to contact her in an emergency.
If there was a real emergency, that's what he should use to contact her.
Exactly.
And then the question comes then into contact, or it's proposed, he does press that button at the end of Infinity War, like you said, to call her when everybody's fading to dust, right before Fury himself fades to dust. And then the question is proposed, well, why didn't he use it earlier during the first Battle of New York or during the second Avengers? And
well, that's because it's not big scaled. It's not an emergency.
Exactly. The directors had some good points for that. I can't remember what they all were, or the writers had some good points for that. But one of them was, maybe, that wasn't big enough. Or the other one that I liked was, how do you know that he didn't press it? Just because we witnessed it on screen at the end of Infinity War doesn't mean it wasn't pressed the last 2 times.
Right.
And this just happens to be the time that she shows up. And we know she shows up because in the post-credits tag scene, she arrives at the base where the remaining Avengers are plotting what to do to save the world now that Thanos has destroyed it, and she shows up looking for Fury because he pressed the pager, and we know shit's about to go down because she's about to save the world.
That's what we think, okay? But how stupid would what if Captain Marvel didn't do good?
I know.
Then the Infinity War is already filmed. It's already fucking done, okay? Then they're betting. It's just like with Black Panther. Like Black Panther did phenomenal. It's number 1. It's the best grossing out of any Marvel film. They didn't know that when they made it. Freaking Black Panther wasn't even in.
They have a lot of faith.
Wasn't even in Infinity War.
He was.
So who's? I mean, he wasn't a main point. So who's to say that Captain Marvel is going to be a main point
She may not.
in Endgame? I don't think she will be.
She may not.
It's a huge success. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think Disney's stupid enough.
I don't.
It's already filmed. They didn't. You can't plan that.
So you think they had a contingency plan in case Captain Marvel didn't do well?
Yeah. It's not going to be another Captain Marvel movie. She's going to be a little point, just like Black Panther was. There's going to be a battle.
Oh, I agree. I do think she will play a big role in defeating Thanos overall. She has unlimited power.
I mean, sure.
We'll see. I agree with you, though. I don't think she's going to be a central focus, but I do think she will be integral in destroying or whatever. We don't know. We haven't read the comics. I'm trying to stay away from the comics. I don't know how the comics end, but I do know that they're changing a bunch of shit. They've changed a bunch of shit. Just in Captain Marvel character as a whole, with the Screen the Krull origin. They can do whatever they want. They're freaking Marvel, and we're gonna accept it because we're fans.
Exactly.
And people don't bitch about that shit. And paying homage to the fans too. They did something really good. There's a lot of Easter egg in this movie. The creation, how Sam Jackson lost his eye by the cat scratching it. Freaking how the Avengers name was created, and that's because Captain Marvel was originally called Avenger. Man, so many nicknames for her. I mean, little tags, little things. The Tesseract inclusion, that was good. And probably the best part of all, the way they started this movie with a tribute to Stan Lee, who passed away recently. That was really good for the fans, and our theater kind of, erupted into some good round of applause. Well deserved. That was great.
For sure. I just can't wait for Endgame, guys. Just Infinity War, just that whole experience in the theater was just the best. You have people cheering at every, we were just it's just so good. It's just we've been waiting all these years, 12 years for this to happen, and it's finally coming to an end. And everybody's just so happy and sad about it. So you cheer when the logos come on, you all laugh cheer when the characters are first introduced. It's just good vibe. I can't wait that.
You have to go see, guys, opening night, go see Endgame.
Make sure to freaking pre-order your tickets.
Freaking A. As soon as that thing, oh my God, I'm worried.
It's
worried.
It's going to be hard.
This is going to be the hardest thing to get into, guys. Everybody's going to want to be going opening weekend.
Yeah.
Because spoilers. And it's going to be a freaking long-ass movie, too.
It's crazy that it comes out in 2 months. Actually, within a month. And
over a month.
We don't even have a trailer. We don't even know what the fuck.
I think it's great. They don't need a trailer to sell it.
You don't.
So great. I hope they don't. They probably will have another one. I just hope it doesn't show a shit ton of footage.
I'm not going to watch it.
I mean, I'll probably stay away, yeah.
Yeah. That's, of course, what we thought of Captain Marvel. As far as our score, I give it... God damn it. This might happen. No. I was going to give it a crisp. Yeah, I'll give it a crisp. 4 out of 5. But it's a high 4. It's a 4.8. I ain't going to give it no 5.
No. I was surprised. I don't think this movie was great. I walked out pleasantly surprised, and I actually thought it was better than some Marvel movies, definitely. All these trolls thought it was going to be horrible. Definitely not horrible. And also, I put every Marvel movie above the first Thor because I just think that movie is god-awful. And I love not Dark World. I love Ragnarok. It is one of my favorite films in the last several years in general, and definitely probably in the top 3 best Marvel movies for me. It's just so great. It's just got its own unique tone and style to it.
Yeah.
So this Captain Marvel is definitely up there. I don't know where to place it. There's a lot of options, 21. But I will also give it a crisp. I do not think it's a 4.8. I would place it low on the 4 scale, probably a 4 out of 5. But good overall.
Yeah. Good watch.
Go watch it in the theater. It's pleasing for the fans. I really like it. Honestly, you could walk into Endgame and not having to have seen this movie, but it's going to do you wonders. It's just going to make your experience so much better if you do go and see this movie before going to see Endgame. So just do yourself a favor. Go see it. It is worth the watch. It's fun.
Yeah.
Everyone did a good job. So
okay.
there you go. So I don't know whatever you want to go see Captain Marvel.
Yeah, go see Captain Marvel if you haven't done that already.
It'll hold you over till Us. Oh,
Us. And then just the freaking April schedule. April schedule, dude, is fire. Dumbo, Pet Sematary, Shazam, Hellboy, and Endgame, dude. April is the biggest month in movie history we've seen.
May, like, the rest of the summer is not going to live up to April.
No, April is just like... The past 5 years haven't lived up to April.
That's just it. I think I can get... Once I launch the blogs, guys, we'll get into it. But I think too much big is coming out this year. It's like... This year is going to be a high in box office, and next year is going to be such a fall. Because, especially with Disney, there's no way anybody can live up to the high that is being created this year in film.
No.
It's going to be so hard. It's going to be hard.
It's going to be an exciting month for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, of course, what we thought of Captain Marvel. Let us know what you thought. Head on over to our Facebook, facebook.com/Applebox Podcast. Let us know what you thought of the movie or what you didn't think of the movie. Or if you want to see it, or if you haven't seen it.
And why are you not?
Did we make you want to see it? Also, huge shout out to our Apple Podcast listeners. Thank you guys so much for listening. You are the listeners. Pretty much all the listens come to you. Shout out to you guys. Go ahead and give us a review and, subscribe to us. Until next Monday, have yourself a fabulous week.
And be higher, go further, and be faster.